up, everybody?
What's happening, family?
And welcome back to another episode of Is This Gonna Cause an Argument? My name is Angel Tanksley because I'm married to the man next to me. My name is Angel Lakita Moore because that's my maiden name and what I go by professionally via SAG-AFTRA. And I also go by That Chick Angel. That chick angel who lost her voice because she's been in them streets. We'll tell you more about why I don't have a voice, but I'm going to go ahead and let my baby introduce himself.
What's happening, fam? I'm the other host of This Is Gonna Cause an Argument, Marcus Tanksley, a.k.a. Tank. Hey, fam. If this is your first time tuning in, we greatly appreciate it. This is a podcast we do every single week, and we pretty much talk about anything we damn well feel like it because we grown and we a married couple, and we do it as friends and lovers and business partners, and sometimes we argue. That's why it's called Is This Going to Cause an Argument? Okay? We do this show every single week with our immediate family. Those are the people that are close to us. Yeah. You family too, but they immediate family, okay? The reason they're immediate family is because we talk to them before the show, after the show. They get all the extra information, all the tea and stuff that we got going on. You can be a part of the immediate family. All you got to do is go to patreon.com/thatchickangel, sign up for the low of $5 a month, and come on and join in on the fun. We also joined by some wonderful sponsors.
Yes, we are. I'm so excited. We have Remy, who we've talked about before, and is Hungry Root as well, who we've talked about. So we're going to rekindle our love for both of these brands. We hope you check them out. If any of the brands that we tell you about on this podcast offer a service or product that you've been thinking about trying, for instance, Remy, they have night guards. If you've been like, the way I've been grinding my teeth, I cannot do this no more. We ask that you give the companies that we promote a try. We typically have a discount code or a special URL for you to get a savings on it so that you can also enjoy some of the really great things that we've discovered about them. So we'll tell you more about them later on in the episode. But I want to know how you're doing. Debonair, somebody asked in the comments why you got on sunglasses. I said, because he's an R&B singer.
Why not?
You look good. I like the way it goes with the shirt.
That's why I got them on.
Yeah.
Same reason I got on shoes that match my shirt. It's just fashion. I think because I rarely do it on the podcast. People ain't used to seeing it.
Well, yeah, just having on sunglasses in general.
These have like hardly no tint.
Yeah, no. Exactly. They're more fashion glasses. Yeah. It's just getting used to you going that far out in the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I'm doing good.
Doing
good, yeah. Still on I came off a little bit this weekend.
I was about to say, tell them the truth.
But I'm still doing my thing. I didn't eat nothing off kilter. Yeah, I didn't eat nothing off kilter. I did have some drink this weekend.
And a little cigar.
Tolerance is way down, okay?
We'll tell you more about that later on in the show.
But no, I feel good. Still, like I said, still eating clean, still trying to manage what I eat, how I eat, and all that jazz. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm good. What about you?
I'm exhausted, all self-inflicted.
Yeah, all of it.
All so much worth it.
Mm-hmm.
This was a jam-packed weekend, and we got through the weekend, and I regret nothing. I really do regret nothing. It's something about this. I feel like 40s is the perfect age to do all the things you were too broke to do when you were in your 20s,
mm-hmm.
but also not let your life go to shit
yeah.
because of all the things you wanted to do. So while I know a lot of people be like, "Whoo, I can't do all of it," my thing is, yes, would I love things to be spread out a little bit better? Absolutely, but that's not how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So I'm just like, you know what? You'll find times to get some more sleep. It just is not going to happen this weekend. And eventually your voice will come back because you won't have any concerts to go to for another week and a half.
Yeah, I feel like I did. That was my thing. You can sleep when you're dead. I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, nah. Absolutely. Unless it's like one of those things where I, through wisdom and situations, I'm like, now this might be a one-time thing, so I'm going to do this regardless.
Yeah,
But I ain't gonna run myself because I already did that.
Yeah, no, yes. Thing is that I do get sleep. It's just there are spats of time where it's just like
we're gonna talk about it.
Go. And I went.
Yeah. She tried to grab me, and I get your damn hands off me.
He did.
She asked me 2 different occasions. Are you sure? Ask me again. This thing about to get physical.
He was not here for it.
Like you done lost your damn mind.
He should have been here for it. All right, let's start off with Tanksley Pride. This is a segment where we talk about our children. We have 4 beautiful, beautiful Black boys. And we love sharing stories about them. One, I feel like our perspective and what we've experienced can sometimes resonate with somebody else experiencing the same. And then sometimes we get great advice back from our listeners. So we're about to share something about our kids. Let me start with the twins, because I feel like the twins get left out a lot. So we got an email at the beginning of last week that said, it was directed to me, "Hey, Angel, the teachers want to meet with you about Kai and Sai on this date at this time. Are you available?" And I was like, well, I'm already going to be at the school in the morning for the Mother's Day brunch, so I can just stay in the area. And then they were like, oh, no, we'll move it up. And I made sure I CC'd Marcus, because my husband goes to these things now. He used to not be able to. Now he can, so he's going to be at all of them. And I was like, our kids have done something, because they want us to talk to them. So I'm like, I don't know what the hell they could have done, because they're in 2 different classes, but they still interact with each other. So I was like,
so
oh, my God.
We said, hey, we in the truck one day, hey, Sai, Kai, teachers want to talk to us. Are they about to bring us some stuff that y'all know we should know that we don't know?
Right. Y'all about to be in so much trouble. They were like, no, it's the end of the school year. This is when they do parent-teacher conferences.
We were like, okay. All right.
Because we don't get the normal parent-teacher conference email. Because we have twins, they like to give us the opportunity to meet with both of their teachers at the same time. Yeah.
And they, thankfully, even though we still get a lot of emails coming from this school, they try to be cognizant of that, because we got so many kids there. Yeah. Like, they understand this is like, you get your email or notice, it's the notice for the school for each child. Yeah. Yeah. And then an update for that notice. You're going to get it 4 more times. It's like everybody else is getting it once or twice, and we keep getting these things. Right.
So what ended up coming out of that is that we are we're going to get Sai assessed for his attention. And this is something that I have noticed in that baby for a very long time. He gets lost in his thoughts. We'll tell him to go do something, and he'll get distracted so easily by himself, though. Like, it doesn't have to be the television. It doesn't have to be his brother. He will be standing in the room, just standing there. Yeah. And we'll be like, what are you doing? And he'll be like, oh, sorry, I was daydreaming.
Yeah, because we were, anytime it's a school thing, our attention usually goes towards Kai, because Sai is more of a traditional learner. Yeah. Like he's the type of kid that can sit in a class and do whatever, to where Kai's more like me. But also I see a lot of me inside too. But they were saying, we think one of the reasons is he's so focused on, he wants it to be perfect or whatever. We were like, no.
That's so kind.
Yeah, she said, that's so kind, but that's not it. And they just started laughing. But it's even like, I notice him doing his homework. Like, he'll be sitting there doing his homework, and then he'll be like sitting there tapping and staring off, and I'll just be like, focus. And then he'll go back to it. So I just watch him when he's doing stuff. I just be like, hey, focus. He's all right. So yeah, I could feel. I've felt myself. I could always feel myself drifting like that. I feel myself doing it now. Yeah.
I was like, I've brought it up to Marcus a couple of times, because it would annoy Marcus when he'd be like, what is he doing? I was like, I think that baby got something going on with his attention span, because he's actually really great in groups. He's really great when there's interaction happening. But if you leave him to his own devices, meaning his own brain, it's chasing bunnies here, there, everywhere. So the school, while they will never be the ones to tell you go get your child assessed. They're just gonna keep trying to like give you hints. And so they had the learning specialist come in. Learning specialist works with Kai. She came in there for Sai. And I was like, yeah, no, we could get him assessed, because their biggest thing was, we'll give him everything he needs here, but he is about to be in middle school in a year. And there, if he doesn't have the paperwork to say he needs certain accommodations, you needed to have done it in a certain amount of time, so why didn't you do it in a certain amount of time? So I am like, perfect. Hopefully we'll be able to get it done over the summer. I've been contacting the same doctor that did the assessments for Kai and Marcus. We haven't told Sai this yet, but I think Sai will be like, okay. But I definitely...
Yeah, that's because we were so busy. I meant to sit down and talk to him this weekend.
Yeah.
Just talk about it, because, like I said, I'd bring it up to him. I'm like, hey, you need to focus. He's like, okay. But it's one of those things where he still does really good as far as his schoolwork, everything. It's just like, we always signing these papers, 50 out of 50 or whatever it may be. Like, everything is always great. It's just, like she said, when he's left to his own devices, like, come up with a story about a make-believe character, whatever. It's like the field is too big for him.
Yeah, he
just kind of focuses off, like. But then there was like, when they come over and say something to him, like, hey, you need to focus and do this. Then he'll just blurt out like this long, like why didn't you just write all of that down? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he just he needs just a couple of boundaries for him to feel the force of time on him. Yeah. If the time is too loose, it's just he'll let his mind go free. So like, if I need Sai to do something for me and him not forget what exactly I said to him, you notice I do this all the time. I'll say, you have 45 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
That is the only way I can get him to remember what I asked of him and for him to actually do the thing I asked him to do.
It's almost like if we were to give him a timer that ticks.
Yeah.
Like, you got 10 minutes to finish this. You set the timer, he can hear it. That would probably keep him focused on, let me go ahead and do this.
Because when we used to do Kumon with them, Sai would be in there for so freaking long.
Yeah.
His dad would come in there and be like, you got to come out now.
I'm like, yeah, we got to go. I'm sorry. Y'all should have been rushing him. Like,
so when they would do their packets at home, I would literally give him, for math specifically, he would get 20 seconds per page. Mm-hmm. And he would be like, right? But his accuracy stayed high.
Accuracy didn't go to him. Rushing him does not affect his efficiency.
Doesn't affect his accuracy.
Accuracy, yeah.
It does affect his efficiency, thank God.
Oh,
because
yeah. No, it does affect, but yeah, his accuracy.
Real quick, you could put it on me. Single me out, Reagan, instead of singing.
Single.
So one of the things that are so super duper important to me, not just of my own, but the people that I deal with, is teeth. Like, when I tell you, I do not like teeth that look a hot mess. And my teeth are far from perfect, but they are healthy, and I like to keep them healthy. So I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but I feel that way. That's why I was so happy that we got paired with this sponsor, Remy. So listen, I really love their product. One, because it's easy to get. The price is so much less expensive than if you were to go the traditional route of getting a night guard. Because, baby, I don't know if you know this, 30% of Americans who grind their teeth need to protect their smile. Okay? So there's no better solution than that to protect your smile than Remy's custom fit night guards. Both dentists and teeth grinders recommend Remy because of a custom fit night guard is the best way to protect your teeth. And Remy is 80% less than the dentist and way easier. Do you hear that? 80% less. That's insane. So this is how it works. So you get your impressions kit, okay? And then there is step-by-step instructions they give you. Not just like written out. There's a video you actually get to watch, okay? So that already, you got me there because I am a visual learner. And you do your impressions. You take pictures of them, and you send them off to Remy of the impressions that you make. They give you tips on, okay, we need to see a little bit more of this part of your mouth, a little bit more of that part of your mouth based off of the impressions. You do the impression one more time because they give you 2 kits. You do it again, and then you ship it off. And then they send it right back to you. And you get your night guard, and you're back to protecting your teeth. Like, who don't want to do that? The best part is Remy is so confident that you'll get a perfect fit that they offer a 45-night perfect fit guarantee, or get your money back. I love a good guarantee because if I don't like something, I want my coin. All right. No waiting rooms, no overpriced bills, just a better way to protect your teeth while you sleep. Try Remy risk-free at shopremy.com/argue and use code ARGUE to get up to 50% off your night guard at checkout. That's 50% off at shopremi.com/argue with code ARGUE. Thank you, Remy, for sponsoring this episode. And truly, their night guards are so comfortable. I wish I would have wore mine today so y'all could have seen it in my mouth. It was very nice. What, sir, is your Tanksley Pride story?
I mean, we were covering it. I know we talked about the twin. I will stay on the twins. Did we tell them about? We told them about soccer. Yeah. We did. Oh, that's what I was over here thinking about.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah. If I would have known you were going to talk about the twins, I would have did little Marcus.
Yeah, I had planned on talking about the twins.
No,
what's up with Marcus?
Y'all, he went with me to an audition. So first, I had to take him to the doctor because there was something going on with his skin. And so I have to go to an audition first. So I take him out of school early on Friday after the parent-teacher conference, after the Mother's Day brunch. And I was like, I have a quick audition, which I forgot to pack a bra for. So I found a hoodie in the Lost and Found.
Angel asked me to get her some sweatpants and a T-shirt with no logos on it. The shirt I got is probably the thinnest shirt that has ever been made.
So my nipples were like, I'm telling you, high beams. So luckily there was a Lost and Found inside the audition place. So I just put on a person's hoodie real quick, and it worked perfect. Anyways, I come back out. Marcus does not go into the actual waiting room with me. He stays in the car. So I'm walking back to the car, and I see him in the window. I see him like in the front seat, but through the window, he's like, and he's got his phone, and I see his fingers going up and down. And I was like, I knock on the window. I said, "Are you talking to somebody on the phone?" He was like,
pull up on the ops.
He was like, "No." I said, "What were you doing?" He was like, "Singing." And I said, "Oh, what were you singing?" He was like, "I was trying to see if I could hit all the notes in Michael Jackson's Heaven Can Wait." And I said, "Oh, well, you know what that means." And he was like, he just shook his head. I said, "Yeah, you're going to have to sing it for me. So let me get in the car. Let me get myself buckled in." I said, "So let me hear it. Let's go." So we did a 30-minute vocal lesson. But I was shocked that he now cares about, he has his self-esteem, his confidence is poop for the most part. It's poop in a lot of ways. So the fact that he was like, I want to see if I can do this. And so I was just giving him some tips about using his head voice because he doesn't like the way it sounds. And I can hear where it could have improvement. But I was like, half of that is just being confident. I was like, I'm telling you right now.
Same thing. Be loud and wrong.
Yeah, I said, there's a young kid at the school whose dad is a famous singer, and he actually he's great vocally. Like the boy can sing. Boy also sometimes does way too dang on much.
Way too much.
But that's because his confidence allows him to do too much.
He does so much.
His confidence allows him to. So by the time he gets older and knows how to finesse his stuff, he'll know how to do a lot of things because he does all of the things in one song. You be like, did it require all of that, baby? And to him, it did.
Yeah, I heard one of their choir teachers. They have choir, then they have another group that does like other singing performances. That's, I mean, relatively more entertaining to watch because they'll do like a lot of special songs anyway. And I heard them in one of the speeches, or one of the kids was thanking them for, coaching them through and teaching the class or whatever. It was like, you always tell us if we're going to be wrong, be loud and wrong, be confident and wrong when singing, because like it's okay.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I was like, it's fine. And so they have a like, it's not a cappella, but they have the choir. And then they have this other group that sings more pop songs, and they focus a lot more on like jazz harmonies and stuff. So he might add that class next year. But the part that he doesn't like about it is their classes before school starts. And I said, well, it's perfect. You have to come to school. Yeah. He was like, but I think it's even earlier. I said, it can't be that much earlier because I see them when they're walking to class. And so he was like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. I said, it'll help your harmony. It'll help your ear because there's less. It's only like 12 students. It's not a 40, 50-piece choir.
Right.
But, yeah, I'm excited that this part of him he's allowing to come out.
Yeah, it's crazy. I fixed his bed.
Oh, thank you.
Because I went in there to do it, and I'm like, I thought you said you emptied this drawer. He was like, oh, I said, boy, empty, because he did. But I guess he put more stuff back in there. Anyway, when I walked in there, I did the first time and second time, and I heard something. I was like, I said, you talking to somebody? He was like, nah, I was singing. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I just left it alone. I was like, all right. But that was my first time, like, just randomly hearing him sing like that.
Yeah, I asked him what he was singing. He said, I don't remember. He said, I just had on Spotify and was singing along. I said, do you have a favorite artist yet of singing? He was like, no. I introduced him to Nat King Cole, though, because I was like, so with Heaven Can Wait, he sounded okay when he was singing in the same octave as Michael Jackson. But then when I said, okay, let's try the song singing in an octave lower the entire time, I was like, yeah, you sound way more like Butter right here. I said, you'll eventually be able to get your head voice to sound better. You just have to sing up there more. So I introduced him to Nat King Cole. I was like, Unforgettable is I said, one, Nat ain't doing a whole lot.
Unforgettable.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said, Nat just is like, I'm going to give you a very beautiful voice. I'm not about to riff and run. You're going to be able to just lay your head down on this song. I said, this is a song that you can learn for auditions. I said, you can make it your own. I said, and it's right in the sweet spot of your range. I said, and if there's ever the opportunity where you have to do like a duet for school, I said, there's a version that they added his daughter's voice to. I said, so you could have like a alto singer sing with you. So he, I wonder if that's the food.
I don't know. Let's see.
He was like, okay. So just seeing my child, it is so weird having a boy version of me in this way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who is the child? Is it Little Marcus? Who is the child for you that feels the most like you?
I would have to say, I want to say Marcus, but it's a combination of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But probably Marcus.
Yeah. There are definitely qualities of Marcus that I'm like, well, that's not me. That is his father. And then there are also some qualities of Little Marcus that aren't either one of us. And I'm like, who the hell?
It's crazy. I used to sing all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember in like high school singing a lot. After, even when we've been together, I used to sing a lot. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I never thought I could sing. I just love to sing.
They said Amar. Amar reminds us of him
right now. We talking about growing up. Mar hasn't earned the right to be who he is.
And he took the right though. He said, "But I will, but I am."
Yeah, so it's I love that Marcus is, and Kai's gonna follow suit. He's definitely, because he already likes to sing. Ooh, that boy, he's gotten better. Lord Jesus,
he has. He's just he does too much. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like they both auditioned for a rap portion of a song, and they don't know who got it yet. Other people did too. So we're about to see.
I'm gonna tell y'all what. Last thing I want to do is sit in that truck and listen to Kai sing, but I never say nothing.
Oh, I love it.
I'm like, oh my God. And then, so it was one day. I think he was. I don't know if he was homesick. One of them. It was some random day, and he sung when I went to go pick the boys up all the way to school, all the way.
I love it.
And I'm like, God, Lord, please stop. So we get to school. They get in. So they sitting there, and either Sai or Mar start singing something. He was like, could you stop? I said, hey, I didn't say a word to you, and I had to listen to you sing all the way up here. Let him do whatever he wants to do.
Amar has a strong ear. Kai actually does have a strong ear. He just does too much. Sai's ear is not as strong. It's there, though. And then Lil Marcus is probably the strongest of singers, but not a performer, so his stuff don't be polished the way it needs to. But I'm gonna get him to where I want him to be, and then hopefully he'll find where he wants to be. Anyways, let me pull up something.
Sounds in my head.
Let me pull up something that I saw.
Darling, it's incredible.
Isn't that beautiful? That's someone so unforgettable.
Thinks that
Come on.
Unforgettable too.
Yes.
Angel, girl, what time is it?
TikTok o'clock. This is Fawn Weaver, the CEO of Jesus. It's playing me in the background. The CEO of Uncle Nearest speaking at a graduation commission. Okay.
You are going to be bombarded by people telling you what you cannot do, what you cannot accomplish, what is impossible to do in this environment, with this administration, in this country, in this moment of time. And I want you to remember my father picked cotton in Houston, Texas. You are going to go out into the world and they are going to tell you that you are the minority. You are disadvantaged because you are the minority. And I need you to understand point number one that the Lord gave me this morning. People of color and women are 70% of this country and 92% of the world. You are not the minority. You are the majority. Walk into every space with the confidence that you do not belong to the group that is the minor. You belong to the group that is the major, and you serve a Father and a God that is King. That brings me to point number two. You come from, my father would say, you come from good stock. Anybody in the South knows what that means, but let me give you my version of that. You come from the strongest of the strong. Let me break that down for you. 12 million Africans, at least, left the shores of that continent by force. At least 2 million died in the Middle Passages. At least 12 million left. Most people don't realize only 388,000 made it to America. That means those who made it onto these shores were the strongest of the strong, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. They came on a ship side by side. Blood, feces, disease. They were shackled, they were torn. And they arrived here fully intact. That means that blood that runs through your body came from a people that refused to give up. So if you know you're a part of the majority, and you know you come from the strongest of the strong, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, where does that leave us? That leaves us with point number 3. You are your only limitation.
Okay, Jesus, come on now. We're going to go to our last sponsor for today's episode, and then we'll talk a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm.
He gave you a in your spirit.
Yeah.
Again, that was Fawn Weaver, the CEO of Uncle Nearest. But I want to tell you about a sponsor that's going to get you right, okay, for the spring and the summer. Because, baby, it is a busy time. And I'm pretty sure it's not just in my life, in everybody's life right now. So trying to find time to grocery shop. Who got that time? Please show me how you did it, and then do it for me. But since I know you can't and you're not going to, I'm going to use Hungry Root. Everyone in my house always has something going on. I call this the busy season. I don't have a lot of time to go grocery shopping or to cook healthy meals at home. That's why we use Hungry Root. Hungry Root is it's just like having the luxury of having a personal shopper or assistant and a nutritionist all wrapped up in one. And they make sure they take care of the weekly grocery shopping, which is just perfect. Also, Hungry Root recommends healthy groceries and meals tailored to what you like to eat or your nutrition preferences and your health goals. So they make it easy for you to be able to eat healthy but high quality foods, right? And that are nutritious. And if you have diet or health goals, they help with that. It could be trying to have an anti-inflammatory diet or a gut-friendly diet or gluten-free, because a lot of us don't need it, especially the dairy-free as well, or high protein. So what they are able to do is they do the shopping, the planning, and let me tell you, the cooking, the food, then becomes really, really simple and stress-free. Just tell them about your goals and preferences, and they fill your cart with the personalized recommendations to get that actually get smarter the more you allow them to learn what you like and what you don't like. Most of Hungry Root's recipes can be made in just 15 minutes or less, with over 15,000 recipes shipped every week. There's something for everyone's taste and nutritional preferences. They also have some other really healthy snacks. They have kid snack smoothies, sweets, ready-to-eat meals, salad kits, and supplements. There's no high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, or preservatives in any of Hungry Root's food. Okay, thank you, Hungry Root. And they only source from top high-quality meat and seafood free of hormones and antibiotics. Y'all know we love to do meal services here. Hungry Root is so super healthy. And meaning when I say super healthy, I mean whatever your health goals are, they can match that. And that is what I love about them, because we're all at different phases in life right now, and I need to eat for me, not for you. I love Hungry Root. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off. 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/argue and use code argue. That's hungryroot.com/argue. Code argue to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/argue. Code argue. So, Fawn Weaver, who someone also mentioned, has an amazing book called Love and Whiskey. Her sentiment was, 1, we are the majority. 2, we come from good stock. And 3, we are our only limitation.
Absolutely.
How do you feel like you have to remind yourself of that in your own personal life?
How do I?
Like, meaning, in what moments in life do you have to try to tap into that? Because
I see. I've had to tap into it, especially when I was doing my 9-to-5 a lot. Anytime, I've told this multiple times on this podcast, but anytime I never made a lateral, or I always made lateral moves in my career, but there was always with an upward trajectory. Like it was like, I'm going here to go up here. I never switched jobs without elevating. Every time I did that, it was through, prayer and fasting, and it always worked every single time. Got exactly what I was looking for. In my career, in that small realm of people, I was always a minority. And I knew how they looked at me, but I always approached it with, I'm sitting here, I'm going for this position, or I'm in this position because they cannot deny what I'm capable of. As much as they may want to, as much as they probably do when I'm not in the room. They can try to fool themselves, but the only reason that I know I'm sitting here and the only reason that they know that I'm sitting here is because can't nobody else do it better than me. And that's because of the blood coursing through my veins. And I'm telling you, it wasn't until I was at my last job. We were at a project in Riverside at the CARB facility, California Air Resources Board. We were sitting there in a meeting. This was like just fresh after post-COVID. I think people were still wearing masks and stuff. Anyway, we sitting in this conference room, and we're on I think at the time it was Skype. And we were heading up. This facility is like state of the art, like one of a kind. They may have one somewhere in Europe, and then they built another one out here in California. And we're on this Zoom meeting or Skype, whatever it was, with people all over the country, whether it was here, whether it was somewhere else that was also heading that up, and some people overseas. And it was me and two other gentlemen holding that meeting and letting them know the do's and don'ts and what's going to happen. Anyway, we were, heading up this meeting, and it was all three of us were black. And we were sitting there. We had the meeting. We on there. There's some Russians on there. They were, because a lot of the equipment was designed by some, not Russian, German or Russian, I can't remember. Probably German designed. Yeah, they had to be German. A lot of the equipment was like, you can't even get it over here. Like, we don't even have some of the technology to make some of this equipment. So that came over from Germany. So we on the phone with all these people. There is a translator or two on there. And after we got on the phone, we sat there and we looked around the room. It was like, I know when we turned them cameras on, they were probably shocked when they turned those cameras on and saw. So who's all on the meet? Where the other guy was hosting it, he was like, "So who all do we have here?" He introduced himself. Everybody went through, introduced herself. Then the other guy introduced himself. I introduced myself, and I know they were probably looking like, "What in the hell?" And we were like, "Yeah, you damn right." And it was probably one of the proudest moments in my entire career.
Really,
just after we ended that call, it was just like looking at, because it was only us in the room physically in that room. So we were able to have a out loud conversation once all the computers and mics and stuff were shut off. But that was one of those moments. So I've always looked at it like that in my career. And it's like, in that the trades world, I be trying to push people, if they not interested in the college, go into trades, because a lot of people don't understand that a lot of people in trades make athlete money. It's just a secret held against us. But also, when you go into that, it's very few of us, because we're not exposed to it. But once you get over there, get good, and you're going to be undeniable. They might want to turn you away, but if they need somebody for the job, they're going to bring you on regardless. And I feel like I said, in my career, to answer your question, those are the type of moments. It would be randomly throughout the week, dealing with people, or again, going into meetings or having conversations, and knowing how they feel. Their body language says it all. But it's like, guess what? I'm holding my head high. And it actually brings me a little bit of joy knowing that you don't want me here.
Yeah.
Not a little bit, a lot of bit. I'm petty.
What's crazy is because of most of the spaces that I operate in are very black. Because I don't work a normal 9 to 5. It's not until I get on like a set where I am reminded that I'm a minority. But I will say that in my own head, when I'm doing my own thing, that is when I have to remind myself specifically of her third point, that I am the...
Thank you, babe.
Thank you.
There's a lot of food.
That I am my own limitation. Me and me alone. Nothing else is limiting me. Me. That's when I usually have to remind myself of point number 3. Point number 1 and 2. Number 1 doesn't even, I don't know if it has a psychological part of, it doesn't. I am always, I pride myself in being in black rooms.
Absolutely.
Often.
Yeah.
So it's the number 2, baby, I know that without a shadow of a doubt. Just like she said, her grandfather picked cotton in Houston, my mother, now I don't got to even remove multiple generations. My mother picked cotton in North Carolina. I know in watching her life, it's not that I have to watch her life to my life, watching her life to her life. Yeah. I'm like, baby, I got some good stuff up in here.
How many of them was it in that
one bedroom house? 13 people living in a 1-bedroom house. I know without a shadow of a doubt that I got some good blood up in me. Now, there's probably also some narcotics as well, but for the most part, it's just some good genetics. So it is that third one that I feel like is my hurdle that I clip all the time. But it's hopefully a hurdle that is actually getting shorter and shorter for me as I get older. I would love for our Patreon to say in the comments, in the chat, since they're watching live, what times do they have to remind themselves of all 3 of those points or one of those points? And
Patreon, stick around because I got something to show y'all that finally got the finished product.
Okay.
So Patreon, stick around, and it's right in line with all of this. It's crazy.
Okay, now to our main discussion. We're going to tell you about this week, okay?
Yeah.
We ain't got a whole lot of time, but we're going to give it to you.
Quick question. This is way off subject. You know I don't be dealing with TikTok like that, right? I went over there to see how one of my posts was doing, and, went to my little For You page. And the one thing that I kept seeing so many of is somebody said that red-haired white people are black.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, this is a big thing, and they are
save
celebrating
that for the next podcast.
It's a trend right now.
It doesn't matter. It'll be
Patreon. Remind me.
You put it in your phone for the TikTok. Don't worry, you'll run the episode next week. Okay, so this weekend, just to give you all a little taste of what happened. Well, this week, I went to go see the woman who I think is the greatest performer of all time, dead or alive, Beyoncé. Got to see her twice, once on Wednesday, then again on Friday. And thought she did phenomenal on Wednesday, and then she said, that's old news. Watch me do even better on Friday. Don't know how.
No, hers was already scheduled. You said that's old news. I'm gonna go watch her again.
No. I'm just saying. No. What I mean is the quality of the performance. I was just like, how did you up the ante? I mean, granted, I was super drunk the Wednesday show, so maybe it was just as good, but I think it was better. Got to see it with Brescia for Brescia's birthday on Wednesday. Kev and Melissa, Melanie and McKinley, Josh and Imara, and then a couple of my homegirls, Lauren and Rhonda. And then Brescia had her friends. We all went in on a suite, had food, had drink. So it was an elevated experience. And I lost my camera. Well, I left my camera. Someone stole it in the suite. And then on Friday, went back with Brescia for way cheaper price.
Yeah, people were asking me initially, the first one, if I was going to it. And look, Beyonce is iconic, but that's not somebody, her catalog of work is not something I'm going to spend as much money as they did to go see.
Right. That's what was probably the most impressive one, other than her stamina and her vocal stamina. I swear to God, the 10-minute mark into her concert is where I was like, this would be the end of the concert for me. Yeah.
That's dope.
I was like, you're telling me we have another 2 hours and 50 minutes?
How y'all tired and sweating, and she's the one
performing.
Yes,
pretty much. And this woman is 43 years old, about to be 44. This is not there are 20-year-olds who cannot pull. There are 18-year-olds who can't pull this off. And then, you know me, I love her willingness to be a mother and a performer at the same time, because that's what I want to be.
I will say that's absolutely beautiful. Anytime you can perform with your children, damn, you won't bring me to tears.
Oh, I cried both shows during that part.
Jamie Foxx tore me all the way the hell up.
I literally wept. People who say they don't get the hype of that woman, I do honestly feel are haters. I'm okay if she's not your favorite. I'm okay if you're not a fan of her music. But her talent,
You can't deny the talent.
is undeniable.
I can't stand when people do that. Just because you're not a fan of them, they be like, oh no, they trash. They ain't even all that. Shut up. They're doing more than what you would ever do.
What I actually
I
loved,
don't care who it is.
what I loved about her show is something that I've actually been toying around with in my head for a long time. Not for a long time, at least a year. She had a lot of patriotic symbolism in there, where, you know, as a black people, especially in our age range, we kind of been off of that for a while, just based off of how this country, how our powers that be have treated us.
Yeah.
However, what I loved is that she was unapologetically black. I'm talking about the imagery was black as hell, as well as a lot of patriotic things, which to me is a representation of, you all don't want us to claim here because y'all want it for yourselves.
Right. We built this bitch for free.
Yes. So if anybody should be having the kind of like having the American flag, it's actually me.
Right.
It's actually not you, because your people either came over here willingly because they wanted a better life, or your people were the ones that were enslaving my people, and your whole family should spend years in prison to repay the debt.
Right.
So it definitely made me really look at like what she was saying as an artist, just being like, you are not going to make me have to separate myself from this country because I'm black, because that's what you actually want for me to do. Right. That whole go back. You remember they used to be like, go back to Africa. Well, y'all brought people brought us over here.
Go back to Europe, to the Caucasus Mountains.
And as Shay, one of our admins, she says, and me and Marcus did a podcast about this 2 years ago during the summer. She said that flag represents racism. That's it. That's all wrapped up in faux patriotism. That definitely is also true, but we also know that flag is what is the representation of this country.
Yeah.
And if anybody should be able to claim this country as their own, it's either the indigenous people that they then pushed off into a corner.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
Or black people who truly created the revenue that made this country have as much money and as much exports as it did.
Through rice and cotton.
So I truly, truly was just like, this woman, get the mic further away from your mouth if you're going to be chewing, though. No, I'm serious, because you were reaching over into...
You finished talking.
Go ahead.
No, you finished talking. Because you weren't done. Now you just being petty.
I'm not. I'm literally watching you eat, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Move the mic away from your mouth if you're going to be chewing.
Can y'all hear who's saying that right now?
But you see, I'm not chewing right now.
But then you known for eating into the mic.
And if you told me to move the mic,
no, you'd be like, I'm eating, I'm doing that.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you do.
The next day, I had 3 events. The first being my chapter meeting in Delta. And
you knew I was going to have to open the bag. Go ahead.
No, I thought that was your only meal. I didn't know what else you were eating.
You knew I got a bowl.
Okay, I'm going to let you get it. That way I'm going to let you get it. Now, this is definitely...
Business.
Huh?
All in my business.
Because your sound is all in my talking.
This must be yours.
Yeah, it
feels
is.
heavy as hell.
It is mine. Thank you.
Hold on.
Oh my God. Now this you only do. The loud noises of the bags. What else is that?
Okay, it's my second one. Go ahead.
You got 3 meals?
Yeah. Hold on. Again. I know you ain't talking.
Oh, yesterday I ordered it up.
All
Yeah.
right then. Cut it out. Angel ordered enough for 2 families.
I'm going to eat it today too for lunch.
Go ahead.
Anyway.
Damn hypocrite.
Anywho, you all are looking at the second vice president of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, San Fernando Valley chapter. I was elected as the second VP, which just means I'm over sisterly interactions or membership. I just create moments for us to bond as a chapter and as a sorority inside of the San Fernando Valley. Lord only knows what I've gotten myself into. I left that and went to the Black Excellence Brunch, where I met up with my niece Victory, who also came to the chapter meeting.
She was trying to get me to go to that, which I didn't even know about it.
Because Trail kind of invited me last minute. So,
Yeah, no, I didn't know about it. She was like, so we got the, Black Excellence Brunch, it's an all-white party. And I was like, today? She was like, yeah. I'm like, no,
I told you before that day. I told you.
No, well, I'm saying tomorrow. And we also had an event that evening that I was definitely going to. I was like, no, I ain't doing that to myself. Absolutely not.
The food at the
Hold
Black-
up. No. Okay. The first thing was the second Beyonce thing. Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, you can go. There's another ticket. You want to go? I'm like, I didn't even know you was going again. She's like, I told you. No, you didn't. Well, I thought I told you. I was like, oh, okay. She said, you want to go? I'm like, no. She's like, you sure we got another ticket? I said, Angel, I'm 1,000%. I do not want to go, especially to no last minute concert like this. She asked me a third time. I said, I just looked at her. She was like, you said 1,000%. I was like, thank you. Because you asked me again. I'm about to get mad. This is insanity. So then come Friday, Saturday, I got to do this, got to do that. She came home. My God, I said, yep. I went on about my business. Like, I'm sure you are tired. You don't even tell me about it.
Let me tell y'all. I was like, Ebony, hush now. I was like so exhausted from Beyonce letting out, me not getting home until after midnight. At 6 a.m., my makeup artist showed up to do my makeup. No, he did my makeup at 7. I had to get up at 6-something to shower. Went to the Delta meeting. Went to the Black Excellence Brunch. I get there. We're about to eat. Trell said, Angel, would you come up here and bless the food? I said, oh. And I'm really like, there's got to be another angel in this room. So I get up there. I'm praying. And I pray. The food is great. I was so glad I got to take Victory with me. She got to meet a lot of creatives, people in marketing like her. Got to talk to somebody at Disney. And hopefully I'll have another great announcement to tell y'all in a week or two. Patreon, I'll talk to y'all about that later. And then came home to get ready for the yacht party that was a fundraiser for Jack and Jill. So I was not on this committee, okay? I was not on the fundraising committee. However, they did ask if I would be the MC for the event. And I was like, okay, this is, MCing can actually be light work for me. If there's not a whole lot of names and a whole lot of people I've got to navigate, MCing, keeping the party going, keeping the energy up, I can do. But that is also why I don't have a voice. So the yacht party starts with me realizing one of my friends is not on the yacht. Because she didn't see the email they sent of what time you needed to be there because the boat was leaving. So I'm literally standing outside of the yacht to prevent them from leaving because I know they're not going to leave me because I have to kind of not run the event, but manage the program. So I was like, okay, Where? And she's like, I'm coming down the hill. I was like, no, you're not, because I can't see you.
We looking at the hill.
We're looking at the hill. You're not on it. Okay. He's coming. I was just like, girl. Literally, as soon as I see her running. Now, we didn't told her, take off your heels before you get here so you run. She still got on the damn heels.
She was still in the car. I said, go ahead and take your shoes off because you're going to need to run. Unless you want to sit there on the shore and watch us pull away. Get out. This heifer still got on her damn heel. I walked on back in there.
We both did.
I don't give a damn.
But I also heard the people who were untying the boat, they said she won't have to run. We'll wait for her. And so I went back in. I was like, soon as I walk in, they're like, Angel, we ready for you on the mic. So I didn't get a chance to like take a break, take a sip of water, because I've been on the phone with her trying to get her to the boat. And she was like, girl, my emotions were a wreck. She said I had to sit there and pray for about 5 minutes. I was like, well, you know what? I couldn't, because I had to get on the microphone. But anyways, the event was great. It was high quality Black folk. I can't wait to go to Bloom Ranch to have a birthday party.
Yeah, that sounds dope.
Bloom Ranch was one of the presenting sponsors, and they are the largest Black-owned ranch in Southern California. Mm-hmm. And they have a vineyard. And I want to host a beautiful party out there.
We could take some.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt if it happens this year. But I was like, this just sounds so amazing. But they were the presenting sponsor. Also, their owner and founder was one of the honorees. Beyoncé's agent was the other honoree. I ended up getting an autographed copy of Matriarch, which is Tina Knowles' new book. And it's starting off really good. Whoever her ghostwriter is with her, and that's not shade, somebody else's hands are in this book, has done a great job, like making her storytelling so colorful. Because we all know, if you have ever watched her talk, we know she can tell stories, but there is extra imagery in here that really makes it almost feel like fiction.
Yeah, I feel like anybody who's not a author for a living probably has a writer.
Yeah, they have somebody.
Yeah, that's a completely different special skill.
It was so good. The party, they had a great DJ. The liquor was included in the ticket price, so it was open bar. Uncle Nearest was one of the sponsors. So Marcus and Uncle Nearest. Marcus said, Uncle Nearest, I hope you know I'm your nephew.
Now look, y'all know I've been eating clean.
Tell him.
Ain't been doing a lot, Ain't got a lot of alcohol absorbing things in my body right now. No bread, no oils and fats. It's all vegetables and lean fish, some fruits. That's it. And water. So as I'm getting ready, I'm at the house getting ready. I was like, well, let me go on fix me a glass while I'm getting ready so I can at least be social by the time I get there. Because it's like an hour to get there. Because we take a sprinter. There's a couple other people with us. So by the time I get there, everybody's already in line at the bar. I'm good right now. I'm like, I ain't about to wait in no line because I'm right where I need to be. I only had one glass. I'm like, this is perfect. And as the event goes, I'm sitting there and I do go get another one to sip. And as I'm sitting there sipping that, I think they served the salad, the person serving drinks, because she asked if we need anything. I was like, nah, I'm good. Or went around and said, y'all need anything? We're like, nah, we're good. A couple minutes later, she comes back with a glass of Uncle Ness. I just still sipping on the one that I got for myself. And she sets another one there. I'm like, it had to be either Al or Tim that sent this. Neither one of them sent it.
No, it was she. She did it. She knew you were my husband. That's why she gave you the drink, because she was making.
It's her fault.
She was trying to make sure she took care of both of us, because she knew how much I was going to have to rip and run.
Oh, no, I appreciate. I wish I'd known that at the time. But no. So with that said, Tank had too much to drink. I turned into someone that I actually don't like being around, which is somebody that's had too much to drink. Now, it's not like I couldn't hold it, like I wasn't stumbling and stuff, but I didn't, like, Angel's like, you got to, me and her, we do the whole, now you're obnoxious. Like Wednesday, I'm sure Angel was obnoxious.
Actually, I wasn't.
You don't know when you're obnoxious.
No. There were other people that were so drunk
What,
that, no, this is what I'm
relatively?
saying. When you can recognize someone else is too drunk and acting a mess, you know that you're not the obnoxious one. When I can say, we're grown and everybody should know their limit.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't need to be babysitting.
I wasn't you mean babysitting me or none of that.
No, he wasn't there. I'm saying that's
Yeah.
how I
No,
was
yeah,
Wednesday.
yeah. No, for me, if I was there with me, I just had to tell me, man, shut up. Don't say nothing else.
This is Marcus. These women don't know him like it yet, right? Now, if you know Marcus, then you won't be offended by him because you know he's playing. Marcus does not clock that he doesn't know these women. So the first thing, Marcus comes to take a picture of me. We're trying to take a chapter picture. So he puts the camera up to take the picture. And so the women near me put their heads in. He said, I don't want no picture of y'all.
I knew that. Look, they were taking a chapter meeting picture, and they were taking, y'all know, I hate trying to wrangle adults.
You didn't have to wrangle nobody.
But you gave me the phone to take a picture of the group.
Once the group got together, like you could have kept with your conversation. I was just, because I was getting in my spot. Go ahead.
Again, I'm standing there to take this picture. Angel, no, I don't like taking I'll take a picture of her all day, every day. But as soon as you involve somebody else, women got way too many damn rules and regulations and how they look, and take it again. Let me see it. Kiss my ass. I ain't taking no picture. Keep me from telling somebody to kiss my ass. I just don't take it.
None of that had happened.
I know. Angel gave me the phone, take the picture after everybody got together. It's taking too long for everybody to get together. So I walk in and take a picture of Angel. They're leaning in. I'm like, I'm taking a picture of her, not y'all. You see me going in. You can see there's 50 women in this picture. If I'm walking up to one specific person, why you gonna lean into the person next to you that you know ain't taking a picture of you?
Because how would they know? People take pictures of small groups of folks sometime too.
They don't know. They didn't know you or me. So why would they think?
All those women know me.
But what I'm saying is, if you got 50 people up there taking a picture, if I'm standing beside somebody and I see somebody walk in with a phone close to me to take a picture, I'm assuming that that's for that person, not me. Anyway, it was in a playful manner. I'm like, I ain't taking a picture. I'm taking one of her. I took that picture. I came out, took another picture, and I was like, all right, I'm done, because I'm not going to sit here trying to pull all these damn adults together.
You didn't have to pull them together.
I ain't going to wait for them to get pulled together.
So there's that. I was like, and I am like, I know if they would have been like, yeah, I'm about to be in this picture anyways, I don't care what you say, it would have been just a playful banter. But these women don't know him in that way. So I was like,
but they know us.
They know me. I didn't say you. I have chapter meetings with these women every month. They have gotten a chance to know me.
You done?
You pulled that closer for them to hear you chew. So there was a couple times where Marcus would be like, hush, 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 or like step in front of people. I know that's him being silly Marcus, and I was like, I know these women are trying to figure out what is happening.
Everybody there knew that I was joking, that I was being playful. Angel always feels the need.
No, not everybody there. Don't do it.
Anybody that I'm dealing with, I know how to read people.
You weren't turning back around to read them. You weren't. So I would have to say, girl, he playing. He be an ass.
Again, Angel feels like, look, we could be dealing with our own friends. Somebody could come in, they could say something to me, talk about me. As soon as I respond, Angel always, now Marcus. I'm like, you didn't hear all the insults thrown at me? Yes. Why am I always the one to be, now calm it down.
Because you're my husband.
Who gives a shit?
You said why? You said, why am I the one that's being, because you're my husband. The other people are not.
No. I'm saying when it's people that know us, When it's people that we are actual friends with, they are at our house. Somebody could be doing or saying something to me.
One of our friends thought that you...
She is clearly unstable. We've talked about this.
But still, if I'm
and
telling...
again, that friend, hold up. And again, that friend is the one that would always start in on me.
Listen, I understand your logic, but understand that I was also reading what I was reading properly.
Okay.
Can both exist?
Both is going to exist. Yeah. Anyway, that's always the ebony flow. We'll be somewhere. Somebody can say something. I'll say something back. And then I get the Marcus now.
You didn't get any of that on
I'm
the
just
boat.
saying that's not on the boat, but I'm saying that's usually what it is Angel always sees me as you're doing too much or I have to explain him. I'm like, well, go find somebody to explain that person to me then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I didn't tell him to calm down on the boat. I just, when I would see things and I would see people's reaction and he didn't already moved on, I would explain, that's my husband, he's joking. So that they could come off guard of like, why did this just happen? Anyways, the night went well. I don't remember half of it because I feel like I was checking after people the whole night. I had sold 13 tickets, not including me and Marcus. So I had a lot of people there who were not familiar with the women in the chapter. And I was like wanting to make sure they were having a good time. Marcus had himself handled. He was with people he knew. He was, conversations, dancing, smoking cigars, yada, yada, yada. And then we got home. Cool. Next day's Mother's Day. I didn't even go downstairs until 3:00. That's how locked and loaded I was upstairs. I took a nice hot bath. I laid in the bed. I talked on the phone. I read a little bit of Miss Tina's book. Marcus ordered me some food, a lot of food. I clicked everything that looked good, and I'm going to eat on that food for the next 2 days. And then we went to go see the Four Queens.
First of all, y'all would be disgusted if you knew how much money
it cost way too much.
But you're going to talk about me and my $315 meals.
I wasn't talking about the cost. I was just talking about how much food it was. And for me, I was just like, I'm order up because we were waiting for my mother to hit me back. I called my mother 6 times. She didn't pick up nary a time. So we were going to go out to eat with her. But then when she didn't pick up, I was like, order a bunch of food. Anyway, we went to go see Stephanie Mills, Gladys Knight, Patti LaBelle, and my all-time favorite, Shaka Khan. Gladys Knight sounded amazing. She is 82, and you can tell she's 82. She looks great, but like her walks were little shuffles. Somebody had to walk her out on stage, and then somebody had to walk her back out on stage. And when they first walked her out, they walked her out and dropped her off beside the background singers, and she didn't leave them for one whole song. I was like, does she not know she's the main event? Come to the center of the stage. But she was phenomenal. Next up was Stephanie Mills. She's the youngest of the 4 queens. And let me tell you, while her songs, she's got like 3 songs that are super popular. Most of her songs aren't as popular as the other women. She sounded and looked so good. She was moving that body. Her son was one of her background singers, and she did this. She said, wait until y'all hear my son. He is going to make y'all run around up in this thing. And I was like, oh, God, don't do that, because if he's not,
I know.
Then what we going to do?
Let us be the judge.
Baby, she wasn't lying.
How old is he?
He's probably our age. Mm. He's probably in his 40s. I don't know when she started having kids, but she's 72. Oh, no, 68, excuse me. And I think she's 68, yeah. I'm talking about, he was hitting them notes where it's just like, where'd you go get that? You went and got it from Jesus? Then came out Patti. We didn't know who was going to be the headliner. We didn't know if it was going to be Patti or Shaka. Patti is who she is who I would love to become.
in my old age. She looked fabulous. The way they put that lace front.
Patty's like, I'm not going up last. I ain't staying here all the time.
Yes, listen. First of all, Gladys Knight looked like they woke her up to do the concert. Like she was good and tucked in. And they said, let's do your makeup, let's do your hair, and then we're going to put you back to bed after your 30-minute set. Patty, wig, laid, snatched, makeup amazing. I know her makeup artist. Patty sang whatever note came to her head. If I wish I had a voice so I could imitate her, so hopefully I'll have it by tomorrow, because I'm sure we're going to talk about it on Here's the Thing. But yes, Patty still.
Angela always saying that she can't wait to be this. Like, she oozes with joy every time she see Patty doing Patty. And I'm like, Angel, you already do this.
No, I'm getting close.
No, she wants it. She can't wait for her age to be the factor of, well, can't nobody say nothing because hey.
I am who you love, and this is who I am. She had on hot pink, gorgeous nails, hot pink, sharp stiletto nails. Okay, makeup done flawless. This woman had a whole costume change. She did not just costumes, she changed wigs too. Came back out, sang one song, and left. She did a costume change for one song.
Probably announced her departure. All right, John, Greg, go and get in the car.
There was so many notes where me, Marquita, and Brisha looked at each other and just bust out laughing. I was like, what was that?
It didn't matter for nothing.
I was like, yes. Patty's doing it's the combination of Beyonce and Patty. I'm watching Beyonce do whatever the hell she wants. I'm also watching Patti LaBelle do whatever she wants. The difference is Beyonce's feels like executed for an actual point.
Yeah.
Patty's is like, in this moment, why not?
No, Patty's like, I'm doing what I enjoy doing, and I'm gonna do it the way I enjoy doing it.
Yes. She said to the background singers, y'all go ahead and sing. It was in a part of the song where they didn't have anything to sing.
Could you imagine being one of her? That's a sketch right there.
She said, y'all go ahead and sing.
Here's the script.
They just sat there and snap touched because there was nothing to sing. And she said, I said, Marquita, did she just tell them to sing? Did she just tell them to sing? Marquita said yes. And she said they are doing the mute challenge right now. I hollered. Then
I'm probably going to talk to him. When I tell you sing.
Then my favorite of all time above Beyonce. To see Beyonce and Chaka Khan within a week span is, God loves me. First of all, Shaka's body looked amazing. She had on a see-through lace romper cat suit with a black leotard underneath it, and baby looked good. She's lost a lot of weight. Her dancers were dancing for their life. What I notice about these older people when they have dancers and the men show their like abdomen, they're never in great shape. They're like okay, but they're not like ripped like Beyonce's dancers. They are very much so.
Are you saying the older dancers?
No. Older performers, dancers.
Oh, they're dancers.
Yeah. So like if this was Uncle Charlie, his dancers are just going to be in okay shape.
Yeah.
I said, but I'm going to tell you, they danced their butts off. I didn't care if I didn't see not nary a six pack. Them men and women were killing it. Chaka Khan sounded better than her recordings.
That's amazing.
Yes, Kimberly, that white girl was dancing for her life. So was the black dude that she was with. The black dude whose little belly was just a moving and a grooving. 2 songs in, she goes, first of all, I started crying during her introduction. Tears are just streaming out of my face because I'm like, dear God, this woman, I love her so much and she does not even know. She gets 2 songs in and the lights come up. She said, my mama's here. I want to wish her a happy Mother's Day. And we're just like, what? We're like, her mother. Mother showing up there. Chaka Khan's 72 years old. So to have a mom still alive at 72, come on, give God a hand clap of praise. Then she says, you know why? I missed an opportunity. She said, y'all, Stevie Wonder's here. Where is he at? Where is Stevie at? And they let her know he's like back where the sound booth is, like where they do all the EQing and stuff.
And she said, come up here and sing this song with me. And she's talking to him the way I would talk to Brescia. Like, y'all are that familiar. Y'all are that much of friends that there's no, I should have gave you notice. Stevie, come up here and sing this song.
That's no different from if you was on stage doing, I don't know, a comedy, whatever you was doing at 72, and Tony Baker was over. Hey, hold up, y'all. Tony, come up here real quick and do this.
Come up here and let him. So sure enough, they walked Stevie's ass out there on that stage. And, you know, he's just like, she was like, let's do a song. He was like, let's do the song that he said, I had this song idea. I wrote it, and I didn't have all the words. He said, then Shaka wrote some of the words. And then after she sang it, recorded it, I was like, I want that song for myself. He said, but she sounded so good, I couldn't take it. And he said, I won my first Grammy for this song. And they started singing Tell Me Something Good. When I tell you, I was jumping up and down.
Yeah, I'd have lost my mind.
Like a child who has every diagnosis possible for hyperactivity. And when I tell you, these two elder Negroes sang down. Shaka Khan she starts the song off. Stevie comes in the same octave as Shaka. She's singing high as hell. I said, what is happening before me? Then they do a whole like kind of like scat, improvise, like riffing and stuff section towards the end. And Shaka loves, even though she's rock, because the whole time while she's singing, she's playing a pretend guitar on herself, right? She's definitely a rock star. But she does things with her mouth to make the sound come out in different ways. So she'll be like, I can't do anything right now. Let me drop it. I can't do anything. But she'll be like, she'll do things like, and I'm like, yes. They sounded so good. Marquita starts crying during their performance. Because we were like, this might never happen ever again.
You ain't gonna see that again.
I did lose my mind. I did.
Yeah, I'd have lost my mind. The only downfall to being there is not being able to hear it for Angel screaming.
You would have still been able to hear, but I was definitely screaming. You would have still been able to hear. She eventually comes over towards our side of the stage, and now I don't sit down at all during her set, not once. So if anybody couldn't see the stage because of me, oh well, buy front row tickets then, because we were front row. So the music's going. She comes over. She said, y'all ready to dance with me? And I'm already dancing, okay? She said, you already know the next song, don't you? I was like, I don't know the next song. It don't matter. It could have been Mary Had a Little Lamb. I'm going to dance with you. And the musicians, her musical director does a good job of not giving you a hint to what the next song is until she's ready for you to know. Mm-hmm. And then we heard, so I know it's I'm Every Woman. Oh, now everybody's up, but I'm already up. I'm like, yeah. Sang that song. That's how she ended the concert. It was so good. No. She didn't end on I'm Every Woman. She ended on Ain't Nobody, which is now in Amar's playlist of songs. To end the night, I did get to take a picture with her. It wasn't as eventful.
Don't tell the story.
I'm going to make it quick.
Why?
Because the podcast is long enough. We need to end the podcast.
Don't tell the story, girl.
A friend of mine was like, I'm going to get you backstage. She told me this a while ago, and I can't tell you the full reason why this is going to happen because that's something that's supposed to be revealed later on. And I was like, okay. She knows I had 3 people with me. It took us a while to get backstage. It was a bunch of just BS, right? And I felt for her because she was really trying hard. And I was getting ready to leave because it was taking forever. We finally get backstage. Now we're waiting for wristbands because that's the only way they're going to let us to go to do the meet and greet. That takes a while. We finally get wristbands. The woman at the door is asking, are you a part of the Shaka Foundation? And I was like, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure. And Brescia and my mom have already gone in, and the woman closes it's not a door, it's a curtain really tight. And she's like, no. And my mother was like, well, I need to go back out there. My daughter's out there. So the woman lets her back out. The woman closes the curtain. The woman then opens again, and Brescia said, I need these 3 women in here with me. So we do. We walk in. I see Shaka in my peripheral. I'm like, oh, my God. This is about to happen. I'm going to cry. Brisha goes over to sit down beside her, and the man gestures, this white dude gestures for me too. And I was like, no, because I want my own picture. Brisha was like, Angel, come sit down. And I'm like, no. And I see Shaka go, okay, so what are we doing? Right? Like her hands go up. And I was like, what I'm not about to do is piss off this woman. Mm-hmm. So I sat my black ass down and I smiled for the photo. But I did not even look at her. I didn't say hello. I didn't say anything because I was worried that we were agitating her, and I didn't want to add to it. So then I get up and I'm going to the woman who's taking the pictures, and I'm about to give her a camera, and the man was like, we're not doing a bunch of different camera. I said, this is my mother's phone. She needs to be able to take a picture with her phone. He was like, oh, okay, copy that. So now I'm pissed off because I'm like, first of all, I didn't get the picture I wanted, nor did I even get to talk to this lady, and she's my favorite. Right. Not nobody else in there. So we walk out. My mother.
They out there because of you.
Exactly. My mother gets her own picture, gets to talk to Shaka. Marquita gets her own picture, gets to talk to Shaka. Because by this time, I'm out. Like, as soon as you take your picture, you have to walk out. They do not let you stand in there. When I tell you I was hot as fish grease.
I'd have been pissed.
Hot as fish grease. My mother was like,
and you didn't even get, because you had the opportunity to go in beforehand, right? And you didn't.
Yes, because I got my wristband. They didn't have one. And I waited. I said, well, they're waiting for me. I'm not just going to, leave them out here and be like, all right, I know y'all just waited an hour and a half, but I got to say hi to Shaka. So sorry.
That's what you should have did.
That's what I said. I'll do that from now on.
Yeah, you got to be a little bit more selfish, Angel.
I mean, it about had me.
This
I was
is your
so
food
mad.
orders all over again.
It had me so mad. I was almost in the point of tears because I was just like, how was I robbed of that moment? How? When nobody else. The only reason why people had that moment was because I was there.
You go put in your food orders and we're here. Let me make sure everybody else got food and everybody's food get delivered but yours.
When I tell you, it hurt me so bad. And my mother, not realizing, kept talking about, yeah, Shaka, she was so nice. She was like, oh, you got to pray for me. I'm so tired, blah, blah, blah. She was like, Marquita, did you talk to her? Marquita was like, I wasn't going to say anything, Mama Dorothy. I was like, Mama, do you not realize this is pissing me off?
One thing Mama Dorothy ain't going to do is read the room. Okay? She going to read code. She going to read emails. She ain't going to read the room.
And then she was like, well, I didn't know I couldn't talk to her. I said, Mama, no. You should have been able to talk to her. You should have been able to take a picture. Everybody should have been able to do that. But the person who wanted it the most did not get it. That's the part you're missing.
Yeah. Bless your heart.
So.
Lord bless it.
I have a picture with Shaka Khan and Brisha.
Yeah, you better
I'll
chop her right up out of there.
There'll be one with Brisha and one without because I am chopping her out.
Can't y'all do the thing on iPhone?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm just going to crop her ass out.
No.
I was just like.
The picture would look like it was only me and her all the time.
Mama was like, she said, I thought we were going to take a picture with Shaka together. I said, I didn't want a picture with anybody else with Shaka and me. Didn't want it. If that's what you wanted for Mother's Day, you will have to find another daughter to do that with because I didn't want it to be me. So I think there will be redemption. There will be something that will happen. And when it does, you all will know. All right, we need to close this out. We even went on for too long. I just want to remind you all, I'm teaching a Mocha Masterclass. If you look in my bio on Instagram as well as in my feed, you'll see the class. It's going to be this Saturday. It is on how to make money on social media. It's at 9 a.m. PST. And if you can't actually make it live virtually, because it's virtual, the class will be available for 30 days. And there'll be a Q&A, but giving tips and tricks on how to make some money in this landscape. And then my content manager, Bree, is teaching a class directly after mine on strategies to grow your social media. Y'all know my social media has really boomed since I've worked with her. She knows what she's doing. Both classes are $20 a piece. It is a fundraiser for Mocha Mom. All proceeds goes to Mocha Moms. So please, if you have thought about it and you share it, if you're like, I'm not interested in social media at all, almost everybody knows somebody that's interested in that. So please share it so that they can purchase the class. Don't share the link as far as in if you purchase the class. Please have your people buy it. Unless they absolutely don't got it, then
you know what we gonna do.
Absolutely.
Okay, you go ahead.
Then again, Patreon, y'all stick around after this. Y'all know the usual. You can catch me at your mama's house. Now, y'all can Beard and Body Butter Man shit, MANSHYT.com. Check that out. And then just stay tuned to all the other stuff.
Okay. All right. Check out our sponsors, Remy and Hungry Root. And follow me at That Chick Angel on all platforms. God bless y'all.
Y'all have a good one, fam.
Bye.